Yo, what's going on YouTube? Back at another college football 26 video, and we played our third college football tournament. I think it was our third college football tournament. Ended up making the Elite Eight again, and ended up playing Villain AV. If you guys don't know who Villain is, he's easily one of the best cut players. I'd say out there right now. Really, probably the best speed booster in the game. I mean, runs a very toxic scheme, kind of bases out of Wildcat and certain RPOs. And it's just overall really hard to stop. So we ended up playing him in the Elite Eight, and I think it's gonna be a great breakdown here. You guys can kind of see again how I'm attacking good players and see what he's doing and kind of how I ended up afterwards spending some time in practice mode and figuring out some stuff. So I think overall it's going to be a great game. On the offensive side here, we did end up picking up Peter Warwick. I kind of hate Fernando Mendoza, so the AP on Peter Warwick is dot, off platform, ball security, and magician. And then all of our receivers have cutter, takeoff, sure hands. We ended up picking up Jordan Tyson. You guys will also see in this video that I'm using Pat Tillman as my running back for a little bit of some audibly and around tricks, but also I just think he's one of the best running backs in the game. And then we picked up Eli Stowers at tight end with cutter, sure hands. On the defensive side, this is something that I did specifically against Villain, knowing that he's a big speed booster, big Wildcat player. You guys are going to see every single player on my defense has instinct. Mincy, my linebackers, my edge rushers, my D-line, every single player on the field except I think my nose tackles have instinct. Even my corners have instinct. And then we had outside disruptor. We really put a lot of run stopping abilities on the field to try to contain it. But you guys are going to see how we did. No spoilers ahead of time. Again, Notre Dame offense, Missouri State defense, it's still the same playbooks. If you guys do want to get my full Notre Dame offensive ebook, I don't, hold nothing back. Everything you guys see in this, plus a lot more, is on that. It's going to be linked down below in the description, as well as a promo code for 30% off if you guys want the ebook right now. But I am running a special sale. If you guys are interested in getting the ebook for the rest of College Football 26, and then you guys want to be locked in with me going through all of College Football 27, getting every ebook and tip that I put out over there on the site, we are running a sale on the annual subscription. It's normally $60, the equivalent of about 6 months, right? $10 a month. But we actually have a promo code to knock that down to about $45, so you guys can get an entire year's worth of content for about 4 months. So I think it's probably the cheapest it's going to be all year. So that's something you guys are interested in. Go check out that link down below. But without further ado, let's hop on in to the game. All right, guys, hopping on into the game here. Just kind of skip the opening kickoff here. He's going to be Snack Harlow. I'm going to be I run draw. And you guys can see, like I said, he's coming out in Wildcat here. And so what I'm actually doing is I'm coming out in a 4 down lineman set. And then we're going to pinch the D line and then crash them up. The point is this way our linemen kind of, split out, hopefully trying to force him to take a wider angle. And then we have instincts again. Remember, on all of basically every player on the field is instinct. So hopefully they're able to kind of rally down and make a tackle. And then my goal is usually the safety is if he runs right, is going to be to shoot the gap right here. And if he runs left, I need to kind of maintain outside leverage and kind of rally down right there. So that's really all I'm trying to do with my user. And you guys are going to see here on the first play, it actually ends up working perfectly. We make a perfect dive tackle, get him to 2nd and 12. He's going to run hurry up, and this time he's going to flip his Wildcat from running to the right to running to the left. And you guys are going to see, let me back up 10 seconds. You're going to see I end up making that bad shoot, right? I get a little overcommittal here. I was feeling a little confident. I thought he was, I can make a super dive tackle. And I get baited by this gap. I try to shoot this gap, make a dive tackle. Whereas if I just loop to this gap, this play's dead, right? So I just shot the wrong gap. That's really all that happened. And we end up giving a touchdown here again because, the speed boost is very good. He ends up actually kind of screwing it up, but then is able to overcome it and gets down there for more points. This is actually the one time that we give up anything in Wildcat, so you guys are going to see how good the Wildcat defense is. And something I'd recommend you guys all add to your game if you play anyone in Wildcat, let alone someone who's a really good speed booster. But it's, it's an unfortunate start to the game. We just shot the wrong gap. That's really all it came down to. But we're going to end up skipping the kickoff here. We just kind of fair catch it. But I do want to talk about something new I'm running on offense. Again, full breakdown of this in the ebook. But we are actually going to be coming out in gun deuce. And the reason for that is so that we are able to auto run QB zone and the RPO out of this, but then audible over to gun cluster. That's why we're using Pat Tillman as our running back. So you guys are going to see we actually get to start this game off kind of counterpunching, right? He just ran Wildcat on us, and we're going to come out running motion quarterback zone, and he doesn't have the alignment, and we're just able to get a great block and get straight downhill. Right here, this is on me. I need to hit a speed booster to score. I didn't want to screw it up. I got a little safe, and we actually end up getting tackled at the 7 instead of a one play touchdown. But you guys can see, I mean, we're able to get a really, really easy thing from Peter Warwick there. And so we're going to come out and run QB zone again. Again, I'm going to make him prove to me he can stop QB zone before we start trying some other stuff. And again, we're seeing this motion where slot corner moves out, which gives us pretty favorable numbers. We just got to beat his user here, but we're able to fall forward. Again, just churning out yards. Now 2nd and goal at the 3. And again, you guys are going to see these audibles. I'm able to audible all the way over to our quarterback blast, which I'm sure you guys have seen me run a lot. And then we're just going to end up running quarterback blast here. So Peter Warwick, I mean, just going to carry the drive. First drive on his legs here. Ends up getting into the end zone. 3 carries. Was at 75 yards and a touchdown. So fantastic start from the game. And it kind of in my head, I'm like, hey, yeah, we gave up a stupid one-play score to Wildcat, but he just kind of gave a stupid one-play score to Gun Deuce. So we're all about tied up. Again, he's such a good speed booster. I'm kicking to the fullback every single time. He's not giving him a speed boost opportunity. And again, we're going to see he comes out in Wildcat here. So again, I'm calling cover 4. And we're going to shade down. I don't want any match in case he happens to call a random pass. Again, pinch the D-line, crash up, and I just got to make a tackle with my user. And this time you see how I didn't make the stupid play. And then, again, our instinct was able to help us keep that depth, and we just didn't give a free touchdown because I maintained my leverage. Now, he's going to come out in bunch strong offset. And this is actually what's going to end up being the most annoying thing for me to guard. He's in Kansas Playbook, by the way. There is an RPO that normally what happens is a motion RPO. This tight end kind of runs like this and then loops back, and these guys lead block. It looks something like this, right? That's what the play looks like. The problem is this is one of the rare hot routable RPOs that are motion hot routable RPOs to where he can hot route this guy on a wheel route like this. So it basically works as like a speed flat out of bunch strong. This play is exceptionally hard to guard. And actually, if you guys stick around to the end of this video, I will talk about how I would approach guarding it, because you're going to see him continue to run it. But kind of at first, I'm getting prepared for basically normal bunch strong. So what that means is, again, I want to be ready for a corner strike. I know there's corner strike in this playbook. So probably a corner out there, some sort of streak or slot fade, some sort of vertical route from this guy. And then the tight end could either be on a zig or on a post is generally what I'm going to see from this route combo here. I didn't realize at the time, but Kansas does not have flood. If not, the reason I'm doing this deep half is to take away flood. But you also have to be worried about a corner out here, a slot fade, and a streak, and that can also bomb cover 3. So doing a deep half to take away a cover 3 bomb over the bunch side, always do that. And then I'm getting ready for crack toss. He's actually not running crack toss. You guys are going to see. He starts running this RPO. And actually right there, his guy didn't block it, which was very lucky. And we have it 3rd and 16. A great spot to be in. Again, he flips his play. That's fine. We flip our play. We're getting ready for exact same shell I just ran last time, except we're stemming up a lot of our zones. And what we're going to see post-snap is a pretty basic combo. Let me go back to the start of the play real quick, and I'll show you guys what combo we're going to get here. So what we end up getting here is a stem corner, a streak, a post, a drag, and a running back streak. Basically dagger. Now, what needs to happen when I see this, right, from a defensive perspective, this is a very common route combo. We have a stemmed up purple flat to take away his corner out. We need this linebacker cross man on the running back. And then I have my user, right, because we have this tight end post, and we have a drag, right? My user right here, it's 3rd and 16. I need to bait the drag, guard the post, or possibly even guard the drag and switch stick up to this half and run down and take away the post. That's what I need to do on a defensive side. And what we're going to see post-snap is I kind of screw it up. I ended up getting ready for this post, so I stemmed up this hook curl, okay? So this should theoretically take away the post, which means at this point, my sole responsibility is the running back streak or the drag, right? I just forgot to make this adjustment, actually. And you're going to see post-snap, I kind of get bumped into the tight end trying to get out to this running back wheel route. If this was actually a streak, I would have picked it, but he put a wheel route, which was smart, gave him a little better route spacing. But just tough. We don't end up getting there, and he ends up getting a first down on 3rd and 16. And that's really the downs in these type of tournaments, right? 1-2 plays can make or break it. I just got to man up or guard the running back wheel route, and I mean, that's a massive possession changer. All right, again, we're going to come out in bunch strong here. You see this RPO, right? And this is really the problem, is even when it doesn't work, right? Like, even when that slot corner plays it for a tackle, it's still like 2 yards. Like, it's never a negative play, because if you put a hard flat, he actually gets blocked. Where you put a purple zone, it doesn't necessarily get blocked great. Okay, he's going to be flipping his play here. Comes back to the exact same combo, basically. We have a post, a corner, a streak, a post, and a backside drag. Some at the running back in the flat. And we actually get a crazy screamer right up the A-gap. I don't really know how that wasn't a sack. Look, he was able to get the ball out of his hands for himself, so lucky for him. But again, 3rd and 8, keeping him in. We're playing good defense this first drive. Again, we're forcing him to pass, and you guys can see he's just not doing a great job passing the football here. Again, getting ready for a very similar combo: corner out, streak, post, drag. And really what happens here is I'm in no man's land. Look at my user. We're right here, right? What am I guarding? I'm running. I don't know where the hell I'm running. This is just terrible defense. What I need to be doing is taking my user and running down to this drag right here to cut that off, and then switch stick up to this half and run down to pick off the post. That's what needs to happen for this to be a good defensive play. Because right now, right, he can't throw the post because we have our linebackers right here, right? So he can't throw this. He has to wait a second. So that should give me a second to run down and switch stick up. And I'm just not going to do it. It just bad offensive or bad defense right here. We just kind of guarded nothing and gave up a drag. And again, with the speed boost, that turns into a 20-yard play, right? So definitely a lot of stuff I need to learn from on the defensive end here. But you're running a pretty similar combo. I love this stemmed up hook curl to guard this post. Again, we're going to see this RPO here. And even when they're not blocking Pickett, right, he's kind of one broken tackle away from a big play, but also he's still never it's not like forcing him behind the chains here. Now he's going to go short side bunch. And he actually runs a very common play. I actually really like this combo. I used to run it myself actually at a bunch. But what it's going to be is it is a slot fade to this guy, a streak to this guy, and a post. Now basically what the concept is that the streak is going to push the deep zones back, and then you can kind of create a nice little like pocket shot right here. Generally it works better against cover 2, but it works really well to the short side of the field. I actually ended up leaving my cover 3 on the short side here, and you guys are going to see, right, he clears the flat. This vertical route pulls my 3rd in, and he kind of hits a spot right here. I will say this, when he actually threw this, I didn't think he had enough room, because I'm kind of shocked my DB's not able to close this right here before he's able to catch this. All right, if I gave you guys this freeze frame, I think it's close, but I'm kind of shocked Mincy doesn't make a play on this. He doesn't get there. It's a good pass by him. I guess I expected a little fast. I mean, it makes complete sense to me why that was open, and I need to be ready for that short side bunch play. I haven't had someone run that on me in a while, so it wasn't even on my radar, but we're kind of going to make note of that, and you'll see. We don't give it up again, but just a great play call by him. Something I got to be ready for. But back on offense now. So we made him work, right? I mean, I feel like we played somewhat decent defense. We took away the free touchdown here. And again, we're coming out in deuce, just trying to make sure he has a personnel group. Because I will say this, right? If you play certain defenses, they just cannot guard deuce. They don't have the alignment to do so. So now we see him starting to cheat over. So we're actually going to come out here with inside zone. And just really bad stick. I could have gone in or out, and we probably had a big play. But, we'll take 2 yards. And now I'm actually going to run read flat wheel. And you guys are going to be able to see, I see his pitch key. Like, it looks like he's one-on-one, right? There's no safety help over the top here. This guy can't get out here. So right here, I'm just kind of reading this flat, right? If he comes down, I'm hitting this spot on the field. If he goes up, we're hitting this spot on the field, right? It's a simple high-low read on this outside DB. And you see he comes down, and we hit our streak to Tate. And then, we get some pretty easy yards. You guys can see how gun deuce, it just adds a lot of kind of annoyances to the offense. So, again, if you guys want to see that full breakdown, it is already up on the sites. But, again, we're going to come back out motion quarterback zone. I like to make people guard deuce before I ever think about making them guard cluster, right? Kind of gives me a free possession or two that I'm going to use cluster. We're going to get some pretty decent blocks here and end up getting to 2nd and short. You can tell how he's pretty struggling. I mean, 4 carries for 82 yards. Not very good defense. Obviously, we had a really big play there, but overall, I mean, it wasn't anything too bad. Now, we are going to come out in cluster, and we're going to run mesh. Very basic combo, right? I'm sure you guys have seen me run this a lot. I actually meant to motion my corner out and motion my running back over. So we kind of fat fingered it, and we're going to end up running 5 wide mesh. Wasn't the greatest thing ever, but he's going to end up giving me this return route. We're just going to take our easy first down. All right, coming on to the next play here again. Still coming out in gun deuce. Looking to audible around here. Be pretty quick with my audibles. I know I want to run draw. I haven't really run draw on him a lot, so we're just going to quickly audible over to it, go from one run to another run, right? Make him super annoying. You're going to see his draw defense isn't not a great run stick. It wouldn't let me get downhill, but we still turned out a pretty easy 4 yards. That's one thing that it's kind of hard for me to keep in my in my head is make sure I'm running draw effectively while we're still running gun deuce. I think it can really add a lot of running aspects to this game, which makes the game easier. In my opinion, running is easier than passing, right? So if I can, let's say I used to run the ball 40% of the time. If I can run the ball 50% of the time effectively, I only need to think, for 50% of the game. So that's one of the reasons I'm so big on running here. Again, you're gonna see always trying to put it over here, coming out, especially when I'm caught in gun deuce. I like to pre-plan, if I'm gonna pass or not, if I'm gonna audible. So like to get that pre-planned. And again, we're going to go with these faked motion out corners. I'm sure you guys have seen me talk about in other videos, but make him think he needs to guard that, and then we're just going to come out and run draw. Unfortunate run shed right there. If he doesn't shed that, I think we get a few more yards, but we'll live with it. Going to quickly go hurry up, and I think I'm going to run mesh here. Kind of a really great, reliable short yardage play. Yep. Again, just really looking to put his underneath zones in a pickle and see what he goes to, on the defensive end. One thing that is important to note when you guys run these stem corners, you just kind of how his outside corners here are 5 yards off the ball with 2 high, right? We got 1, 2, and then these corners about 5 yards back. What that means is that this is generally some sort of outside cloud flat is what's going to happen over here. It could either be a cover 2 shell, it could be cover 3 cloud, anything like that, some sort of cover 2 like outside flat zone. So those always make these kind of stem corners a little tricky. And you're going to see actually right there, he actually didn't. He kind of bluff blitzed me, but he was able to switch out, and then we just hit our return route on the backside, right? Because he bluffed it, he had to switch over to guard the corner route, at which point we were able to just easily hit our return route. And now we're going to quickly come back with that RPO we mentioned, kind of just reading underneath here. And at this point right here, I see his user switch. So what I need to do is actually pull this with my quarterback. This is a read RPO, and I don't do it. I kind of just hand it off and end up losing 5 yards, which is not great. And that's part of the issue with me running deuce, especially in a tournament setting. I've only been doing this for a very short amount of time. Excuse me. So there's a lot of, kind of learning still. So we're coming right back out in mesh, though, because we kind of got to pass here. 2nd and 15. I hate being behind the chains, but again, got to make sure to untarget his user, set up our kind of our base stuff here. And what we're going to see again is we actually had our return route wide open. We had our zig route open. Our corner route was technically open, too. We just hit the first read, and we were able to get our tight end and get to a 3rd and short, or 3rd and manageable now. Generally on 2nd and 15, I don't know if you guys saw right that play, he actually switched up to his deep zone because he was expecting something vertical, and it just didn't happen. Now, right now, I see a 5-man box, right? We got 5 people in the box here. So I'm actually going to go without a nose tackle, right? So he can't do kind of the loop shoot that you guys see a lot out of like Mint or Dollar. So we're actually going to try to run a dive here, and you're actually going to see he comes in completely untouched. I didn't know if he had a shoot for this or not. He did have a shoot for it. So since he came in completely untouched, we were able, we're going to have to run outside. Luckily, we were able to get outside and get to 4th and really short here. And at this point, we're going to go tempo. We know he's not in a 3-man front, which makes it hard to shoot this. And we're going to quickly come out over to quarterback blast, right? Really our best kind of short yardage play here. He's got 6 men in the box, still not overly worried. We're going to be able to get our block, kind of follow our lead blockers, and go ahead and get 7. Alrighty, we're just going to go ahead and skip to the kickoff here again. Kicking straight to the fullback. You can tell he's trying to speed boost, especially once I figured out that he had a slower player. I think Jolly is like 94 speed, so I'm definitely fine kicking off to the fullback there every time. Now, again, on defense, really wish I could have onside kicked here, knowing the time, try to get ball back before half, because clock management is so important. But unfortunately, we're in a tough spot. This is really easy for him to make, last drive of the half here. And again, what route combo I'm kind of expecting? Stem corner, streak, post, drag, and then either running back on a wheel or like a flat to either direction, right? That's kind of what I'm expecting here. But you guys are going to see this is kind of the start of why I had to spend time in practice mode after this game, because I'm setting up, and he's going to start running this RPO. And you're able to see how, remember at first we were kind of getting good tackles, so now he's getting 5 yards, right? He's trying to milk the clock, which is fine. He's actually going to go straight to the 2-minute warning there. And he's going to come right back to it. Whoops. Didn't mean to click out of the stream there. And you're going to see, again, he's getting to this outside here. We're just 1 tackle away from big plays. And that's some foreshadowing, obviously, for what's going to happen here. Especially with someone who's as good as they are with speed boosting and stick movement and everything. It's something you got to be worried about. And I'm sitting here trying to take away the big play, and he's just basically running the same RPO over and over again. He actually ends up switching the play, has a crosser, a return route, and a drag kind of all over the middle of the field. And I was kind of in no man's land and guarded nothing, and he's just going to hit another drag and keep the ball moving. Luckily, though, he is running chew clock, which means he doesn't have too much time to run any hot routes or anything like that. So, again, just kind of doing our base shell here, really looking to take away anything, in this common combos, and he just keeps hitting this RPO, right? You see he's able to get outside, then he breaks the tackle, yet another first down. And as I'm sure you guys have realized, we are what? a half into the game and he hasn't thrown a real pass, right? It's been wildcat, RPOs, snap throwing drags, right? And when you're able to make the game this, right, again, he made the guy miss, and now he's getting downhill. And when you're able to make the game this easy for yourself, it's very hard for me to play defense because I can't really adjust to his route combos, right? Like he had that one pass play, we hit the wheel route and stuff, but I can start adjusting to that. But if he doesn't ever pass, there's nothing for me to adjust to. So it's hard to pick up on tendencies when I only have to defend like 3 or 4 real passes and a half. So again, got to start being ready for that. But now we have him in the red zone, right? We got him in the short yardage, and again, you're gonna see he's gonna go right back to it. And we just do not get the leverage. All our guys get bumped, and it's yet another touchdown. He's just going to spam this play. And really, let me rewind here to the start of this play. I'm going to show you guys what I've learned in practice mode that has actually allowed me to defend this. And so basically what you need to do, let me ignore my play out here. Pause the game. What you need to have happen is you basically want whatever your normal bunch strong shell is, right? So, maybe you have a flat, right? Especially in the red zone here, maybe we got a yellow zone, maybe this guy's manned up on somebody and this guy's in like a hard flat or something like that, right? What the key is the edge rusher on the tight end side. You have to put him in a hard flat because these lead blockers will not block him, right? But if you think about it, X and circle cannot make a play because they will get blocked or bumped, right? And L1, even if I man him up, he gets bumped, I promise you. He gets bumped trying to run out here. So the only player who can really make a play is the D end or this linebacker. And I prefer the D end because I generally like to use this linebacker. And what you want to do is you have this D end hard flat, and then at the snap of the ball, you need to switch stick to him and run down and pick it off. That's something I really wish I would have known at the time of this game, but something I've learned afterwards on how to guard it. Because you're able to switch stick. I mean, he just got pancaked right there. And look, right, this guy's trying to shed. The safety's guarding nothing, and he gets bumped. Easy touchdown. Not a great spot to be in. It'll just end up just chucking a bomb up here. Not getting anything. Just kind of got desperate. Try to, maybe click on an ag. Ooh, got a follow. Shout out to Jaden. But, and really right here, we know he's a good speed booster, so I'm just maintaining depth with Carnell Tate, making him kind of run back into me so we're able to get a tackle and not give him any points. But, I mean, overall, there was a touchdown every drive. Nobody really played good defense. And big shout out to Rob for the gifted sub again on the YouTube. Shout out, Rob. But we got to lock in on defense here, but overall, I think we're playing good offense. And so we're going to come back out and gun deuce, making him improve. I don't think this is an overly good defensive formation for this, especially the way his slot corner is like shifting here. But again, really bad run stick. Let me try to get a freeze frame here. This is just terrible, honestly. Let me see if I can get the ball snap. Like, kind of disappointed in myself watching this back. Like right here, I have a lane right here that's probably a touchdown if I go inside of this tight end, right? If we have a block here and a block here, we can just shoot right here. Or I can shoot outside and I have 2 lead blockers to guard one guy, or to block one guy, right? So we have 2 really clear lanes. And what do I do with it? I just run straight into the defensive end. Like, that's terrible. And it's something I need to get better at. Again, you guys have watched me for a while. I'm not a big runner, so I still got to work on my run stick. Not that running takes no skill. I just think in general it takes less skill than passing, but there is definitely some skill, and I need to get better at it. Again, now we're in 2nd and 13, so we're going to come out with mesh, run all reliable on him here. He really hasn't guarded the play overly well. And you see right here, he actually tries to switch down to circle here. We could have hit X. Again, this was a mistake on my part. I don't think I hit my stem corner once, and look how open he is, right? So, but look, I mean, X is open, square is open. We actually throw to the guy that he kind of switches to, but you can kind of see he's a little late there, I think. Personally, we pass league down. Pretty free catch. But yeah, just with the snap, something I want to revisit. Always follow your first read. And what's my first read here? Generally, it is putting the flat defender here in a bind where he can't guard the corner out and the zig. And I just didn't even, my corner out's open right here before my zig even broke. I mean, literally everyone but X is open. Square's wide open. All these guys are open. I just didn't follow my read progression. I kind of panicked. Not good football. And that's something I've noticed now from doing a few of these that I struggle against with when I play good players, especially in these really high-end games. I expect them to guard my stem corner, and they don't. And I need to stop expecting my opponent to play defense and make them play defense. So hopefully that's something you guys will see me improve on as we play more of these and kind of head on into 27. 3rd and 8, again, not a great spot to be in. We're going to run just mesh post right here. You're going to see my flat's wide open, my tight end's open. And normally I would say you need to follow your progression to triangle, but I need 8 yards here, so I was kind of staring down my drag because it's easier to rack up the field with my tight end. But both of them were open. There was no right flat defender, so we put the ball in the right spot. Sometimes trying to rack that up the field with your running back, you can get kind of cheated. And one thing you guys are noticing when I'm caught on cluster, I have Jeremiah Love in the game. I forgot to sub in Pat Tillman, so I don't have any abilities on my running back, which is something I need to get better at. We're going to come out and draw here. Jeremiah Love actually breaks the tackle for me, and that's what I noticed. I'm like, oh, I don't have Pat Tillman, so I think we go and sub him out. Yeah, we go and sub in Pat Tillman. Again, just coming right out in cluster here, running mesh. And what do I see right at the snap of the ball? We see a flat out here. Yes, I could throw triangle and get 2 yards. I need to hit X right in this pocket. That has to be a free first down, and then we'll have this he's kind of in no man's land with his user, but we do see, by the way, right, this guy's probably in a middle third. This guy's in an outside third. There's a DB right behind circle. If you can see him, he's probably an outside third. This guy looks to be in a hook curl. So this post is going to run into that safety. So with his user, he really has to take away R1. So X is really the only spot I can go with this ball, or I need to hit square right now, right? Like I have to throw square before he can get to that yellow. So you can see I don't hit X. I wasn't following my progression. We start staring something down, and then he switches up, and instead of throwing my free touchdown, I end up throwing the ball, right at him. Luckily, I mean, he probably isn't going to get to that, but it was an easy knockout, especially when I had first downs. Again, like I said, I don't think I had the best read progression this game. I've had some things open that I needed to hit that I didn't, and so that's something I need to work on. Now we're going to come over here, try to go to a 4 strong combo. Pretty basic, and not the greatest combo I ever had out here. That, just so you guys know, this is going to be a corner out, corner out, crosser, drag, running back wheel with a streak, right? Pretty basic combo. I'm sure you guys have seen me run a lot. I'm just curious to see what happens. I know in this play didn't work for me, but yeah, he kind of gets a screamer. And again, I'm just not hitting my tight end. Let's just watch from the snap here. I can probably throw X this entire possession. Let me see what happens. Let's see. Because he was wide open, I shouldn't hit him. Right as he clears, this has to be X. It just has to be. Every time, especially with a free looper like this, because I see this looper and I panic. Luckily, we were able to get the ball out of our hands, but I just have to hit my tight end, man. That's 2 plays in a row I didn't hit my drag and ended up putting myself in a really bad spot. You never want to be on one play for your life with 4th down, right? And we're actually going to come out running PA read to try to turn off his quick jumps. And I believe we turned the ball over here, actually. We're going to run a pretty base combo, I feel like. Here's the route combo. Basically, the concept is he has to guard. I don't want to run a lot of routes right at the marker because a lot of people here like shade down or do defend the sticks. We do have Pat Tillman coming in underneath in case he backs his zones up. But ideally, right, you see we're able to kind of stretch the field up the field here. We get perfect pass protection. And right here, what do I see? This pass may be throwable right to square. Maybe we can throw it kind of out here. But it's also possible, right? This guy gets over. I see his user running over to triangle, so that's probably not a throw. The streak's not open. And I do see this post, right? So my guess is his user, my thought is he's going to switch one of either this guy, or this guy, and try to guard the crosser, right? And so that's where I make this read, and he's going to end up actually switching my curl route before I even threw it, as you guys saw, and run down and pick it off. I mean, great switch by him. That's a really good switch. Again, we need to hit our drags to not be on 4th down and be desperate there. And then I also need to look at my corner. That corner out was probably throwable. I just don't do a good job looking at my corner outs in these games, and that's something I've really realized now. Again, let's skip and call the play. Again, we're back in bunch strong, and to no one's surprise, it's going to be this same damn RPO. I mean, if you guys watch this back, I know, like, if I'm just counting through a few drags, he hit that wheel route on me, on 3rd and 15 or whatever. I think he probably completed, 5 forward passes. I guess it depends what you consider this wheel route, right? But yet again, we see the same combo, right? Flat, corner out, streak, post drag, and we're seeing this guy's running straight into a third. We can switch this. I feel like I should be able to beat him to the spot. We don't. He outruns us and just hits another drag. The downfield passing game wasn't the most, the hardest thing to guard me. He's 15 of 16, and I think he's still in one pass that, went downfield. I guess it depends how you consider drags, but that's unfortunate. I even tried to double flat right here to kind of take this away, And you're going to see how, again, I go to the flat, the guy just gets blocked, and, 5 yards again, right? Just RPOing me again, RPO again. And so at this time, I just didn't have any good RPO defense. Again, I've practiced, I spent some time in practice mode and labbing it, and I really do think that the D-pad switching to the D end in a hard flat will completely take that away and get me a pick 6 or 2. But, just something I got to be aware of. Because we actually, as you guys saw, right, we gave that Wildcat touchdown at the start of the game, and then we kind of bagged it, and he hasn't come back to Wildcat. Because if we're able to shut down Wildcat and we can stop this RPO, then we can make him actually play real football. He's got to actually pass the rock. He's got to call good run plays. And we just didn't make him do that, right? We didn't make him play real offense, and that's on me. We're going to come out running draw. I know right now, here's the deal, man. We're down 2 scores with 5 minutes left in the game. I need to score quickly, but I just need to score, right? Then we either got to get a stop or an onside kick, but whatever happens, we have to get points on the board. That's all that matters. So we're just going to do our normal read progression, and this is probably the best offensive drive I put together, right? No gimmicky runs, just straight drop back passing. That was a terrible throw, by the way. I want to take a second to highlight on this. Again, combo you guys have seen 100 times. And what I see is this flat zone kind of like gets sucked in, so I don't even really look at my flat. I kind of just expect him to be out here, and he gets clipped by the D lineman, which really throws off the timing of this pass. So, bad throw, but, it's something we gotta learn from and make sure to check down with him. Okay, coming right back out in mesh post, and you're going to see he has no hard flat here, so we're able to shit our drag like I should have been doing earlier in this game, and get some easy yards. Again, make it third manageable. And he's going to come out in tempo, we're going to go tempo, and then we're going to rock over to mesh really quickly, and we're going to see, again, what's open. We want to put this flat defender in conflict, and what is he doing? He's flat-footed. This spot of the field is wide open. I have to throw this. We see he switches the return. My zig is open right here for a few yards, but square is really the read here, and you guys are going to see, yet again, I just don't make the right read. I actually throw right at his user. He tries to bait down to the flat, so we kind of get bailed out. I was just staring down that return route. Again, not following my read progression. That's why I'm such a big proponent of having a read progression and sticking to it, is because I can see watching this back, damn, if I just would have followed my progression, we would have scored and probably never turned the ball over. And then, maybe I win, maybe I lose, depending on who gets ball last, but at least I would have, I wouldn't have put myself down. Just not a great game I played so far. But we'll, put it together again. 4th down here, really, really key 4th down. And we're going to go to a PA read. Combo you guys kind of have seen me run before, but we go, try to get the combo off here. Okay, so we're going to have a corner out to this guy, and then kind of a post drag return combo in the middle here, really putting some pressure on him. And what I see is user bite down, right? Which means most likely at this point with where his user is, I can probably hit my drag in this pocket and it'll be open. I'll probably have my return in this pocket, and I just got to pick whichever one he doesn't guard, right? That's what I'm seeing when I'm watching this back. He actually switches right here, and I'm a little worried he's going to guard the return route. And then I see him kind of break up, right? I'm just watching his switch. He starts breaking up, so I just wait a second, hit my return route, and get a pretty easy 1st down. Again, should have hit technically the drag, I guess, but good patience, I think, right there. Waiting for him to switch, seeing who he's switching, not just guess reading when I see the switch happening. So that's, that's good. Again, coming right back out and draw here. Just got shedded, crazy shedded. I haven't seen somebody shed draw like that ever. He's not even shooting it. He's just his linemen are they're not even like disengaging or glitching. It's literally just animation sheds, which is unfortunate. Again, I'm gonna go back to a similar combo here. Again, stem corner, post, drag, return over the middle. And what do we see here? He actually, what's open right now, right? My drag is open. My return route will be open right here. And again, this corner route is just wide open. And I just don't throw it. Oops, I meant to use my razor. And I just don't throw it all game. And that's what's really glaring out to me. Luckily, we're able to hit a return route here and get some easy yards, but we're really limiting ourselves. Part of the reason I love cluster so much are these corner routes, and I don't think I threw one this entire game. And it's not like they were covered. It's one thing when my opponent adjusts and takes them away. I need to have counter punches, but I got to stick with what's working here. We're going to see this time, right, I go to my drag route. He clearly cages the drag. Could hit R1 right here in the middle of the field, and that's probably the read I need to make. We drift back a little too far and end up on another 4th down because of some missed reads. When I said this was my best offensive drive, I think I really meant 4th down conversions because we convert every 4th down. The downs before that kind of suck, but we're very effective on 4th down. But again, we're going to go to 5 wide here. Or actually, we're not going to go to 5 wide. We're going to do a unique combo. This is something I took from, I don't know if Luke watches the YouTube videos, but someone in my Twitch chat Basically, the concept of this, let me pause, is that I'm going to have a running back streak right here, a curl route that goes to right here, and then a return route that kind of just runs underneath all of them. So you kind of create a high-low read where you just kind of wait and see, hey, who does he user and where's his other zones? And you just hit whoever he doesn't user. And we see right here, he initially bites down to X. I was a little paranoid about him switching my curl route like he did earlier. So I kind of hold the ball here. Technically, my flat's open. I do hate this pass. I don't ever look at the flat just because I feel like it kind of sucks, but it is open. Again, another misread by me. But we just wait out his switch, right? I'm just looking to say, hey, does he guard R1 or X? What happens? And he runs up to R1, so we hit X, and we get our free first down. Again, I'm making this harder than I need to on myself. The flat route was open, but again, we just convert fourth down at a really high percentage in this drive. Missing a lot of reads, though. See what happens here again. Going a pretty basic combo here. I'll just talk to you guys about the combo at the start of the play here. Pretty basic. Let's see, get this guy set. We're going to go with a running back Texas, right? Drag, crosser, return, streak, right? Kind of just a normal smash return combo right over the middle of the field there. Just kind of looking to put his user in a pickle. And we end up getting our Texas route wide open. Texas routes out of cluster are really, really, really annoying to guard, as you can see, and we just take our free 5 yards or so. But you guys can see this clock's ticking down. We just weren't explosive, and part of that is the lack of hitting corner routes, right? It's hard to be explosive throwing returns and drags up the field. It just is, right? And we had routes that are open more down the field, and we just don't hit them. Yet again, let's look at our corner route here. Let me go back to the start of the play. Let's just watch our read progression, see if I make the right reads. I don't think I'm going to. All right, so that's the ball snapped. First reads is flat. All right, so right here, this is about when I need to make my first read. His user is on the tight end. Why do I throw this? I don't know. I could probably pass lead. This is a questionable lead out to circle. Probably not throwing that, but it is technically a possible throw. But really what we have to see here is square is just going to be, look at this pocket right here. Look how open this spot on the field is, man. And that's just something we got to hit. Not happy with my reads here. Luckily, he kind of hesitates actually when I throw the ball, and he ends up not getting there, which kind of bails us out, lets us stay in the game. And then again, very light box. You guys can see this is a 4-man box, so we're just gonna come out, run blast whenever it lets me, get the blocks we need, and kind of get going here. Again, 1st and 10. Going to a pretty basic combo right here. Again, flat returns, corner returns with a tight end crosser. And I noticed circle's just wide open. And so we're going to be able to get that down to the 3. At this point, we're getting a lot of quarterback blast. He hasn't had a good answer for quarterback blast. Just kind of been able to just kind of run it down his throat, honestly, in the red zone. Tillman, unfortunately, we almost got shot right there. Tillman didn't have a great block. So 3rd and 3. We're actually going to come with a passing combo. Again, combo you guys just saw literally 2 plays ago, but I'll break it down here with the pen because I always like using my pen in these games. There, pause. But what we're going to see, stem corner, that pulls any flats out. Return route, where the flat gets pulled out, we can kind of hit it here. Again, flat route to pull the return route, and then a tight end crosser at the back of the end zone. This way, we pull all flats out, and then we kind of just read the yellow zones, right? Do they stay down for the return routes? If so, we hit the crosser, and if they go back, we hit the returns. Very simple read, right? And it's actually going to, it's a fantastic red zone play. I really, really love this red zone play. And what we're going to see is we get an ankle breaker. Once I see this, I actually probably hit X at the back of the end zone here when he gets to this area of the field right here. But I see his defender fall over, and so I just throw it immediately. And his defender almost actually gets back up and makes the play, which is kind of crazy to me. But again, sure hands let us get our touchdown here. So now we got to go for 2. The reason I'm going for 2 here is at some point we're down 8. So, I could kick, but I want to go for the win, and I'm going to go for 2 for the win anyway. So I'd rather, test the waters here. And I'm kind of expecting to be ready for a basic combo here. Let me kind of talk through it. Normally what my combo is, we have a crosser, slant, a flat, and then an in route. And again, generally what happens is very similar to like that return thing. This slant pulls the yellow zones in, this flat pulls the flats out, and then we kind of create a high-low read right here between the in route and the crosser, right? You just kind of pick whoever's there. Now, I'm expecting him to be ready for this. So we run a little variation. Crosser, slant, return, out route. And this way, maybe he tries to man up the in route or something like that, and we're able to switch it up on him there. Basically the same combo, just different who's running which route. And we're actually going to see right here, And this is just a horrible read by me. If we look at who's open right in here, let's look at this. Right, where's my pen? This is the eraser. Right, look at this tight end highball area right here. We can highball this. I promise you his user can't make a play, especially given his user is full sprinting to triangle. And look at this space to square at the back of the end zone. Again, two just wide open spaces, two more missed reads. And we're going to throw this triangle route. And you guys may say, wow, Ginobili, that's blind. And you're right. But luckily, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I'm not going to admit that was a good read. That was a horrible read. Should have been a pick. But, I mean, sometimes you got to take it. So, and then unfortunately, I actually trolled right here. This is terrible game management. I don't ever do this. That's why I said I did not play a good game here. I am up or down 6 points with 1:39 and 3 timeouts. I cannot onside kick here. If I onside kick, he can just kick 3 and I'm down by 9, right? Like, we're going to lose. And for some reason, I call the normal kickoff, which was the right thing to do, and then panic and went, oh, I should have onside kicked and called a timeout. So now not only can I not stop the clock, I also give him the ball in field goal range to put him up 2 scores. Very, very poor game. Like I said, not a great showing from me here. And we'll talk about that a little more at the end, kind of in the recap situation. But he's going to end up getting the onside kick. And then to save time, he basically just runs his bunch RPO over and over and over again to get his first downs. Because at this point, 1 first down, the game's over. Right? And so he's going to get it. And let's see if he gets... I can actually even try manning up this tight end. And the guy still just gets bumped. And he gets his first down. At this point, the game's over. And he's going to end up just kind of milking the clock out from here. And we're going to take a 6-point loss. Really, like I said, not a good offensive execution. The good thing for me, though, that I see that's a lot of growth. Again, this is my 3rd ever college football tournament. I know I've been doing content and stuff, but really been in the comp scene for like 2 weeks now. And I see some very clear things I can improve on, from following my read progression to slightly better clock management there, especially at the end, and then additionally kind of learning some tricks to stop that RPO. I think if we played this game again, I think it could be very different, and I'll be ready for it in the future, assuming we match up in one of these tournaments again. So GG's the villain. Played a great game, didn't make any mistakes. Switched the hell out of me on that curl route. But a lot of stuff I can work on, and I think that's really the important piece, right? Is we're here to get better, especially given that I'm new to the comp community scene. So, yeah, no, same thing I recommend for you guys. If you guys lose the game and you're really curious, watch it back, see what happens, and see what you can learn from it. Because there's a lot, like I just had great takeaways that I didn't even realize until I did these videos. I do these videos live. There's no like pre-rehearse of, hey, I want to talk about X, Y, or Z. It's just straight me watching my game and noticing what's going on. And it's mostly for me, but I think it's a great learning experience for everyone. So, I hope you guys learned a lot. I know it wasn't the greatest showing, but if you do, again, want that full Notre Dame ebook, go check out the link in the description. You guys can see what was open and not what I threw. That's that's how I'd recommend it. You guys can see the potential, and I just kind of did not put a great showing on. But I mean, overall, another Elite 8 loss. Played 3 tournaments so far. Made the Elite 8 twice. So just 1 score both games. Literally 6 points both games actually. And so just a little bit to get over the hump, and there's some really clear things that I think I can work on to get over that hump, as you guys just saw here. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you did like it, please make sure to leave a like on the video, as well as subscribe to the channel. It helps it grow both this video and the channel. And if you're interested in watching me play any games live or more tournaments live, go check out my Twitch, which is linked down below in the description, or it's Ginobili __. I look forward to seeing y'all there. And yeah, hope you all have a great one. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.